When we picture a massive cybersecurity breach, we usually imagine something like straight out of a Hollywood movie.
Oh, absolutely. Hackers in dark hoodies typing furiously.
Right, yeah. Breaking through firewalls with brute force and, alarms flashing red on a giant monitor.
Yeah.
We think of it as this aggressive, noisy intrusion.
Like a classic digital break-in, just smashing the glass, setting off the motion sensors, and grabbing whatever is in the vault.
Exactly. But what if the most devastating breaches don't look like a break-in at all?
Hmm.
What if instead the intruder simply sets up a very nice, very professional-looking storefront, puts a trusted brand name on the door, and just waits for you to willingly carry their destructive tools right past your own security guards?
You aren't being hacked. You're basically tricking yourself into hacking yourself.
Yeah, and welcome to today's deep dive. We're unpacking a fascinating and honestly a pretty alarming article from Bleeping Computer by Bill Tulis, published on May 9th, 2026.
It really is a perfect storm of opportunity and vulnerability.
It is, because this topic sits right at the intersection of the massive AI boom and cybersecurity. We are looking at a specific incident where a fake OpenAI repository successfully masqueraded as a completely legitimate project.
And it's skyrocketed to the absolute top of the trending list on a major AI platform, all just to distribute a vicious piece of malware.
Right. And for you listening, I want to set the hook here. This isn't just a story about a computer virus. It's a look at how threat actors are exploiting the frenzy around AI development to catch even sophisticated researchers off guard.
Yeah, because everyone is rushing to build the next big thing.
Exactly. So to kick things off, we really have to ask the fundamental question. How does a fake project fool a massive community of tech-savvy developers and actually hit #1 on a trusted platform?
Well, to figure that out, we have to look at Hugging Face.
The scene of the crime.
Exactly. For you listening, if you aren't familiar, Hugging Face is basically a massive, legitimate hub for AI.
Kind of like the GitHub for artificial intelligence, right?
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It's where developers and researchers share AI models, data sets, and machine learning tools. And that includes things like weight files, code, and configurations.
So it's a very trusted environment. But then, what exactly was the incident?
So a malicious repository named OpenOSS/privacy filter appeared on the platform.
Okay.
And it was explicitly designed to mimic a legitimate project from OpenAI, which was simply called Privacy Filter.
It reminds me of a sophisticated type-squatting operation in the physical world.
Oh, like how?
Like, imagine setting up a fake luxury boutique with a slightly misspelled name right next to the real one. Say you put up a sign that says Gucci, but it's spelled with 2 I's at the end.
Right, right.
But you copy the window displays perfectly to trick customers walking by.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Because the attackers here copied the legitimate OpenAI model card almost verbatim to make it look authentic.
Wow, so they just stole the entire instruction manual, basically.
Yep. So if a researcher scanned it, it looked exactly like the real thing.
And the scale of this was just shocking. The fake repo briefly reached #1 on Hugging Face's trending list.
Yeah, and it racked up 244,000 downloads before it was finally taken down.
244,000. But, getting people into the fake store is only half the battle.
Yeah.
Once the researchers downloaded this repository, what exactly did they let into their systems?
Well, this campaign was actually uncovered on May 7th by Hidden Layer.
Okay.
They're a company focused entirely on protecting AI and ML models from attacks. And when they looked closely, they found the downloaded package included a Python script called loader.py.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the mechanics here are wild.
They really are. And to avoid raising alarms, that loader script was packed with fake AI-related code, so it looked completely harmless to a casual observer.
Sneaky.
Very. But in the background, an invisible multi-step execution chain triggers. So first, the script disables SSL verification.
Right, and then it decodes a base64 URL pointing to an outside server.
Wait, so it's basically creating a blind spot for itself and then quietly dialing out to get instructions.
That is exactly it. It stops the system from verifying who it's talking to, and then it reaches out.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it fetches a JSON payload containing a PowerShell command.
PowerShell is just a standard Windows tool, right?
Exactly, but this command runs in a totally invisible window.
Oh, man. So the user sees nothing.
Nothing at all. And that invisible command downloads a batch file named start start.bat.
Okay, so what does start.bat do to evade defenses?
It performs a privilege escalation, so it gets higher administrative
Like
rights.
stealing the master keys?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it downloads the ultimate malware payload, which is named Saphira.
Software, got it.
But crucially, before it even runs Saphira, it adds itself to Microsoft Defender's exclusion list, so the system's antivirus won't flag it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and only then does it execute. The incredible lengths the malware goes to just to sneak through the front door is terrifying.
Yeah.
Which naturally leads to the question, what is Saphira actually looking to steal once it's inside?
So Saphira is what we call an info stealer, and it's written in Rust.
Okay.
It isn't there to destroy the computer or lock it down. It's there to quietly strip mine it for highly sensitive data.
And the target list is just staggering. I mean, I'm looking at it here. Browser data from Chromium and Gecko browser, so that's your cookies, saved passwords, session tokens.
Yep, it takes all of it.
It goes after Discord tokens, local databases, SSH, FTP, and VPN credentials. Even things like FileZilla and sensitive local files.
And we have to highlight the crypto angle, too.
Oh, right.
Because it
Turns out.
specifically hunts for cryptocurrency wallets, wallet browser extensions, and wallet seeds and keys.
Of course it does. And it even takes multi-monitor screenshots, right? Like it's literally taking pictures of whatever you're looking at.
Exactly.
It compresses all this stolen data and quietly ships it off to a command and control server at recargapopular.com.
Yeah. But what's fascinating here is the sheer level of self-awareness built into Saphira.
What do you mean by self-awareness?
Well, Hidden Layer found extensive anti-analysis features. The malware actively checks if it's running inside a virtual machine or a sandbox.
Oh, wow.
It even checks if debuggers are watching it.
Wait, really? So it knows if security researchers are looking at it?
Yes. And it is designed to just play dead if it thinks a security researcher is analyzing it.
Like a possum. Just nope, nothing to see here.
Exactly.
That is a devastating tool. Which brings us back to the victims. Because with 244,000 downloads, are we looking at a catastrophic number of compromised systems?
Thankfully, we need to provide a bit of a reality check on those numbers.
Okay, good. Why is that?
Because Hidden Layer strongly suspects those numbers were artificially inflated.
Like bot activity.
Yeah, exactly. For example, of the 667 accounts that liked the fake repo, the vast majority appeared to be auto-generated bots.
Oh, so they were just gaming the system to get to the top of the trending list.
Precisely. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is definitely not an isolated incident.
Really? Have we seen this before?
Oh, yeah. Researchers found the same malicious loader infrastructure hiding in other repositories.
Man.
And it also overlaps with an NPM typo squatting campaign that distributed something called the Wino S 4.0 implant.
So they're hitting multiple platforms.
Yeah, threat actors have a history of abusing Hugging Face despite all the platform's security measures.
Well, that means the danger is still very real.
Yes.
And listen, if you or someone you know downloaded files from this fake repository, you can't just run an antivirus scan.
No, absolutely not. Remember the Defender exclusion list?
Right, so the official advice is a scorched earth approach. You must re-image the machine entirely, wipe it completely.
Start from absolute zero.
Yeah. And then you have to rotate all stored credentials, replace your crypto wallets and seed phrases, and invalidate all browser sessions and tokens.
It is a massive headache, but it's the only way to be sure.
It really is. And I think this incident serves as a massive wake-up call for the AI development community.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because the AI gold rush is creating fertile ground for classic cybersecurity threats. Developers are just so eager to download the latest models and tools, and threat actors are weaponizing that enthusiasm using sophisticated impersonation and stealthy, Rust-based info stealers.
Yeah, it's a huge problem.
So what does this all mean?
It means that trust is your biggest vulnerability in open source AI communities.
Yeah.
Just because something is trending on a reputable platform does not mean it's safe.
And I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to ponder. Something that actually wasn't covered in the Bleeping Computer article, but it really makes you think.
Okay, what is it?
Well, we saw how this malware actively checks for virtual machines and debuggers to hide from security researchers, right?
Right, it plays dead.
But as AI models themselves become more advanced, what happens when malware starts hiding inside the actual neural network weights?
Oh, wow. That is a terrifying thought.
Right, like what happens when it uses the AI to dynamically rewrite its own code to evade detection entirely? How will we find a threat when the disguise is literally thinking for itself?